Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for your daily dose of dismal Disney.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because it's pretty much what this channel's turned into the last couple
I would
weeks,
call
man.
it honest Disney.
Honest Disney.
Dismal makes it sound like we're the ones being dismal. No, we're just being honest.
We are. I'm murky dismal here. No, we're going to talk about the Skyliner situation, the Disney Skyliner. Of course, there was a malfunction the other day that led to downtime. We're going to talk about how Disney downplayed this and how now guests are starting to come out and talk about how horrifying the experience actually was.
They have people saying how bad it was.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
I was wondering why they weren't saying anything.
Yeah, they are coming out now and saying that it was pretty awful. And Reedy Creek, I guess the Reedy Creek Fire Department actually warned Disney that something bad could happen.
Yep.
And then we have a safety manager who talked to USA Today, who said that it was, pretty crap that they didn't have measures in place to deal with this sort of situation.
Right.
So Disney's just like, oh, it was a slight technical malfunction.
Well, now they're claiming it was, before they were saying it was just a delay, and now they're saying it was, a malfunction. What was the exact wording?
Technical issues or delay or something.
What was originally, and then they said that something, basically.
An oopsie. It was an oopsie.
But they're contacting each person that was trapped individually to work something out.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about Galaxy's Edge and Walt Disney World, and whether or not it's actually crowded, because we're hearing mixed things. So we're going to talk about that. But before we talk about any of this, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We passed 65,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 soon. Reason that we're asking for subs is it helps us tremendously in the algorithm, because right now YouTube favors bigger channels and mainstream media outlets.
Right, and double check to make sure you're still subscribed, because they keep bumping people off, turning their subscriptions off.
Yeah, we've had people have their notifications turned off, so make sure you ring the bell. Right. We've had people unsubscribe for no reason. Yeah,
look, if you want honest takes on Disney, subscribe to our channel, because we're not, unlike these, Instagram, Disney, influencers. We're not just going to post pictures of ourselves in front of all the attractions. We're not just going to take our picture and stick it on one of Disney's, canned articles and say we did it. We're actually going to tell you the truth as much as we know it and what we're hearing from cast members or other people that are involved.
And we're not going to get invited to cupcake parties.
No, probably not.
But that's okay. We'll do it. We'll do it our way. We'll do it our way.
We always do.
So this is coming from WDW News Today. Now, yesterday we did do an update on the Skyliner. We talked about Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland not being very busy. People said, well, it's actually picking up in Disney World. And we looked
like it.
Well, we looked and the wait times were higher than they've been in a while, but we went out to Animal Kingdom and we found out that Flight of Passage was down.
It was down.
I think Everest was down too. There were two major attractions.
It was
Dinosaur. So we had two major attractions down, so everybody was over at Hollywood Studios. Now today, this is coming from WDW News Today. Which
is another good source that's not going to tell you a bunch of shit.
They are not biased. They are absolutely Disney fans. They have people in the parks every day, and they will tell you the truth. So I recommend checking them out. But this is a photo report from today. This is today. So don't try to tell me that it's been nonstop busy. They're basically talking about how not busy.
Wow. And this is like after it opened. It's like 10 o'clock.
Yes, this is like 10 o'clock in the morning. Hardly anyone here yet. Now, this is early in the morning.
They're all going to say, no. They were over there for Galaxy's Edge. Oh, first of all, no line for Starbucks. That is strange. I can vouch. That's crazy strange. Anyway, they're all going to say, no. They're all at Galaxy's Edge, and that's why they don't see anybody else anywhere. They ran for that.
Yeah, well, let's go look, shall we? Let's go look. Look at the Christmas wishables.
I know, I loved them.
13-minute entrance for Tower of Terror.
Wow.
Or 13-minute wait time. Infamous 13-minute wait for Tower of Terror. It means the ride is a walk-on. It's a walk-on. That is true. Creepy dolls, yada yada. It's almost 9:30. Where are the people? They're not riding Rock and Roller Coaster. Where? They've got to be in Batu.
It's after 10 at Batu.
They got to be in Batu. This is where all the people are.
Wow.
Nope. This is Walt Disney World, people. This is not Disneyland. This is today. This morning. I love this. When the park is empty like it was today, you can hear so many sound effects around Batu that would otherwise be overpowered by crowds of noisy people. This particular area sounds like a mechanic shop. Sounds like Watto from the Phantom Menace. See, I do like doing that. Like, I like going on Star Tours when there's no line, because you can actually stand in front of like the baggage check droid and you can see all the cool stuff.
Geez, maybe we should head down just so we can cover this stuff because there's no line. I mean, I'm sure everybody would tune in for that.
So Doc Arndar, he's like, oh, I could watch all his motions because there's nobody here.
That's awesome.
Look at the food delivery,
cool.
Docking Bay 7. There's a couple stormtroopers. Where's everybody? Back in the real world, we came across some damage over at Muppets Courtyard. I don't think they care about
someone kicked that in.
I don't think anybody cares about the Muppets anymore. Disney probably
No,
won't
but
fix
the
it.
Courtyard, they should make sure they fix that.
Again,
Get on that, Disney.
Where are the people? Where are the people?
Were they all over at the Toy Story Land? Which is sad. Toy Story Land trumps the Galaxy's Edge. That's pretty sad.
Well, I'm looking at the wait time. The wait times here in Hollywood Studios today, and Smuggler's Run only has 35 minutes.
Smuggler's Run 30. Slinky Dog Dash 65.
65 for Slinky Dog Dash. Rock and Roller Coaster 35 minutes. Isn't it sad when it's not really a kiddie coaster.
It's like 8 o'clock at night now.
Right, but when a coaster that's been open for a year and a half.
Yeah, what is the wait time on Flight of Passage, by the way?
Well, it's a good thing you asked.
It is, isn't it?
150 minutes.
So
and
where is everybody? Navi River, which is a glorified boat ride.
Yeah,
75
minutes. It's look, Flight of Passage always has a long wait, and it's based on an IP that most people have forgotten about, but it's a good attraction.
And Flight of Passage, they push a lot of people through. You can't say, well, they push a lot of people through with Millennium Falcon. No. Flight of Passage also pushes a lot of people through because they have several rooms. They fill you. You keep going and going and going and going down, walking down to get into your Banshee. And even then, they have like while you're on the dot and somebody else goes in and they're in the one room, and then you go into another room, and then you go on to the ride. So you're moving 3 or 4 groups at once through. So you're moving a lot of people at once. It has a high capacity. It goes through quickly. That still has that much of a wait time.
Yeah, and it is. And they push people through pretty quick. Now, I do believe someone told me that Smuggler's Run does have a slightly higher capacity, but they're both high capacity rides.
Well, it probably has a slightly higher capacity because they were banking on it. But they're about the same, and there's still a huge wait time for them. I mean,
there's still demand.
Right.
There's still demand.
It's been open how many years, and they still want to go ride that, which you should. It's really good.
I'll tell you, the one time I did do a media event, they basically gave us all like infinite fast passes.
Oh, you mean the media event that you never went on because they just now got media on that site?
Yeah, the media event I never went to because the people who watch this channel are like, you guys have never been to Disney. That media event. Anyway, I had pretty much unlimited fast passes, and I rode Flight of Passage like 4 times. Or 3 times in a row because I didn't know what else to do with them. Because I'm like, well, I'm never going to be able to ride it this many times again. And I was getting the stink eye from the cast members. They're like, how are you doing? Like getting right off and going right back on.
They ask you?
No, they just kept looking at me like, what's going on here? After like second time, they didn't really care. Then the third time, they're kind of like, you were just on this thing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I kind of burned through these fast passes. I have nothing else here I want to ride.
Yeah, it's the one time that you're allowed to have fast passes that don't exclude Flight of Passage.
Yeah,
it's oftentimes excluding.
If you go to a Disney media event, your media, usually they will put you up in a hotel room. You'll get invited to dinner events, and they will load you up with ridiculous fast passes.
Until Disney decides that honest blogs and honest news sources that aren't just shells and pictures of themselves are good, are the ones they should be like listening to and bringing in because that's where you're going to get the people. We won't get to do that. But,
no.
We worked our butts off to get it the last time, and it just but don't the person that's there now just suddenly got it because they're so wonderful and know everything.
Yeah, we'll dish sometime on what exactly happened with that site, but we built up a theme park blog for about 3 years, and
as partners,
as supposedly partners, and had it taken from us not too long ago. Still stings a little bit, I gotta admit, but we're gonna build up a better one.
I'm just more amused by the incompetence, but anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna build up a better one. piratesandprincesses.net.
Yeah,
much better
if
site.
you want to see competent sites, that's where you go.
All right, so Galaxy's Edge today, at least, very empty. So the Skyliners, they're testing them. They are testing them again today. We don't know when they're going to come back online. Now, this is another example of Disney spin. There was an accident, there was a crash, but Disney didn't want to use the C word.
You're not allowed to use the word crash,
You're-
even though they smashed into each other, which means it's a crash.
Even though there was a comment on, was it WDW News Today? One of the people that were in the one of the gondolas.
No, they had
crashed.
they had a first person account they had put up on Twitter about they were in it when the glass was smashing and they got them out.
They were smashing them together. So now that this happened and Disney tried to sweep it under the rug in true Disney fashion, and a lot of the Disney blogs, the Access Media blogs, are like, golly, don't hold Disney responsible. They didn't do nothing wrong. Golly gee willikers.
It's just the manufacturer.
It's the manufacturer.
Which the manufacturer probably will be partially responsible for this because, they saw that it didn't work.
Right.
There was an incident within 6 days of it opening officially. So I'm sure they're liable partly.
And I get that stuff happens, right? But we're talking less than a week after it opened. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there were warnings. There were some warnings. And there are some admonishment from theme park safety people who are like, Disney should have been prepared for this. And they were
supposed to be. They said they were doing trainings months ago. I remember seeing the pictures of them training for evacuations and emergencies.
Yeah, so this is the pile-up. So
the crash that isn't a crash.
Sorry. The malfunction. This is the malfunction, and there were
I think they didn't smash into each other and crash.
I think the people that had their account, they were in this one here.
They were in the blue one.
Oh, they were in the blue one.
One that all the glass was broken in.
Okay, well, there was a safety guy named Brian Avery who talked to USA Today, and he is a theme park safety person. I checked out his credentials. He's worked for SeaWorld. He's worked for Universal. Had like a 25-year career.
So he knows what he's talking about.
He said measures should have been in place for the possibility of a ride or device failure that required an expedited rescue and or the delivery of water, food, medicine, portable toilets. He said, in this instance, for example, if a violent thunderstorm had popped up.
Yeah, that's what I worried about when I saw these.
Yeah, or high winds were present, this could have been a serious event. And he said that 3 hours to get those people off of there was unacceptable, that they should have been prepared.
And in Florida,
and they weren't.
They don't last long, but they pop up. I mean, there will be some boom thunderstorm, bad one, and it's gone in like a little bit of time. But they do pop up.
So we talked the other day about the Motley Fool saying already that this could be a reputation smasher, I think is what they said.
Right after they said that Galaxy's Edge was busy and not failing.
Right after they said Galaxy's Edge was really, really packed.
Yeah, look.
I need a cricket sound effect.
Well, there are people under that archway, so it looks
this
like there are
guy's
some
on his
people.
phone. He's taking up some space here.
I'm out under the archway.
They're all hiding.
And all those little cubby holes that there are places to hide, so it looks like it's not busy when it is.
Yo, gosh, you haters! Galaxy's Edge was designed to look empty.
Not that empty. Gosh, I love when they tell us we don't know what the hell we're talking about when this is literally what we've done.
I know, right?
For a living for years.
God. Okay, so Reedy Creek Fire. Reedy Creek being the fire department there on Disney property.
Right, that's Disney's fire department.
Right, they raised concerns about the Skyliner weeks before the malfunction.
That is interesting to me. Well, first of all, I want to again reiterate how thanks to Reedy Creek and first responders that got there, people were evacuated. They're the ones that are risking their lives. You see them rappelling and doing all this stuff to get these people out, going up on cranes and stuff, getting people out. They deserve all the credit for doing everything they could do to fix the situation because it took 3 hours, but they were doing everything they could do. Continue.
Okay, so the firefighters who protect Disney World property are raising new safety concerns after the emergency evacuation. Union leaders at Reedy Creek Fire and Rescue are most concerned about staffing. They say Disney keeps growing and
I've heard this before, actually.
It's too big.
I have heard this.
They said Disney keeps growing and creating new attractions that pose new challenges to public safety, and what happened Saturday night proves it. The Skyliner had been open only 6 days when emergency calls went out at 8:30. The 3-hour operation that followed resulted in the evacuation of 6 people from one vehicle before Disney could restart the system. Now, this guy he's with Reedy Creek Fire and Rescue. He said, we've gotten lucky and we need to stop pushing our luck.
I remember when we do articles and stuff, I saw some things being mentioned a little while back where they don't just use Reedy Creek. They use the other people in the area. If it's a big emergency, they call in backup from other agencies, and they're basically saying, you keep calling us in. You need to bring more people in. You need to do something about having us. You can't just we can't keep giving you our people. You're gonna have to do something about it. I think I'm pretty sure I remember reading something about that where they were asking for more help before. This is months ago. I think I remember reading about this.
Well, they said that this had been during peak operational hours. That happened, toward park close or after the parks were closing. They said you had 100 cars with anywhere from 4 to 10 people on each car, and you have to get those people off the vehicles. It's going to take a long time, and 32 people aren't going to get it done. Less than 3 weeks before the gondola system shut down, Disney had another emergency to evacuate another elevated transportation system, the monorail.
We've been in that situation. I remember that. They actually, that case, they actually got them down. They couldn't tow it, so they brought the vehicles in and took them out that way.
Yeah, so they're saying they're using it.
They said 76 people were evacuated and 3 of whom had to go to the hospital. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're on the monorail and you're stuck and they turn the power off because it's smoking and sparking, so there's no air conditioning and you can't get the ventilation working, and you're sitting in this Florida sun in the afternoon in summer? And we were on there at least an hour, weren't we?
Yeah, at least an hour.
Until he got us towed back to a station. It's not pleasant. So I totally believe they probably had to bring some people. I mean, the thing is, we didn't get mad. We're like, you know what happens. We understood. Everybody was okay, which is what mattered. But you know, those monorails need replaced. They needed replaced before they needed to do this.
Well, that's kind of that's going to be a sticking point, because not only did they stall replacing the monorails, which were probably about 10 years past their life expectancy, but they built the Skyliner, and it's turned out to be a cluster. Now, there are multiple theories as to why it failed. I don't think Disney has come out. They did issue a statement, which we're going to read, but they didn't come out and say exactly what happened. There was a rumor that they cheaped out on one of the sensors.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Well, I don't know if they cheaped out, but I know they think what caused this whole thing was the sensor. Like, apparently the sensor lets the other cars know there's a car in front of it, and it didn't go off, so the cars just kept coming like dominoes.
So this is they're calling it a nightmare. Disney apologizes to guests after Skyliner
I'm sure
nightmare.
that was way worse. We were on the monorail in the heat for an hour. I'm sure they had. I will not even. I bow to you people, because I would not even imagine what you guys went through.
Can you imagine dangling on this thing if a thunderstorm had occurred in Florida?
Well, we were actually in the monorail. That thing. There was a thunderstorm too. I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, can you imagine hanging in one of these
swinging
things?
Thing. I couldn't do it. Now, a lot of people made the best of the bad situation, and a lot of people joke, like, if all I had to do was sit in a gondola for 3 hours with good views, watching the fireworks, and I get a bunch of money, gift cards, and tickets, I'd do it. It's easy to say that. And people are like, did you die? Stop whining. It's easy to say that when you weren't the one in there. But I can imagine, like, my daughter, we were joking today, stuff at the monorail. She goes, I still am scared of that. I'm scared of the monorail.
Our
this
kids,
day.
Yeah, it took us a while to talk them into riding the monorail again.
And I'm like, you're fine. It's, you know, it happens.
I mean, the monorail
happens.
wasn't that big of a deal.
No,
but
I mean, it really wasn't. If I was on this, I'd be much more scared.
Well, I'm going to talk about some of the guest experiences here. Now, you know, could they be hamming it up to try to get some money out of Disney?
They could be.
Yeah, they could be.
But I'm not saying they are. I mean, but I'm sure it wasn't our deal, because they said that a lot of, like, the kits weren't full. Like, their emergency kits weren't even full of what they're supposed to be full of. They said some had, like, not enough water in them. Yeah. Some had, you know, and there is no ventilation in these things, just like what happened with us in the monorail, because there's no air conditioning in them.
No, there's a little vent on the floor that, yeah, there's air circulating as long as it's moving. When it's sitting still in the Florida heat for 3 hours and there's no air conditioning.
That was in the evening, but still, it gets hot.
It does get hot. It's Florida, right? So this is Disney's official statement. We have a team diligently looking into the cause of Saturday's malfunction.
Malfunction, that's what they're calling it, malfunction.
Let's look at this again. The malfunction. Well,
because it was a sensor that malfunctioned. It's a malfunction. There's no crash. It's a malfunction.
Yeah. We have been in contact with guests, many of whom were on the Skyliner for more than 3 hours. Until we were able to restart the system, we express our sincere apologies for the inconvenience and continue to work with each guest individually. How much do you want, Joe? Yeah. How much do you want, Sarah?
We got water, Gatorade, and some fast passes.
Yeah, so there was... now they talk again about the safety people. They quote Bill Avery again, who was the guy who was like, you know, they weren't prepared for this. They said Skyrides do malfunction for a variety of reasons, but again, you know, everybody's pointing out that it's only been operational for 6 days.
Right.
You know, measures should have been in place. So there are some pretty heart-wrenching stories here.
There were some kids that were really scared. Yeah, I read about them.
So this is one of the stories. One of the stories.
I'm ready to cry if it's little kids involved.
Yeah, there's a little kid involved.
I'll cry.
So they said that every 15 minutes or so, they said there was a temporary delay. We know we've been stuck on Disney rides.
People said it was like torture, because every so many often you'd be sitting there, be quiet, and all of a sudden the voice would just scream at you. You know, it wasn't scream at you, but it was like this loud voice would come across saying, and they said it was almost after hearing it so many times, you're ready to scream, because it's like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah. So 30 minutes turned into an hour turned into 2 hours, this guy said. He said after about an hour and a half, fire rescue crews showed up and raised a ladder to rescue people in the gondola in front of him. They go up and take out people two at a time. They're still not telling us anything. He said he felt like passengers left with no answers had no choice but to panic. There was a 7-year-old girl in my gondola who, her father did a good job keeping her calm, but the kid was almost hyperventilating.
Yeah, my kids would have been, oh my gosh, they were freaking out in the monorail. And the monorail, you know, is nowhere near as like as scary as this would be.
Oh God, then there are kids and they have to go to the bathroom. Yep. So they got to pee in the puke bags and it leaks all over the floor. It's disgusting.
What else are they going to do? They didn't have a way to go.
Johnson said there was only one bottle of water inside the emergency kits.
Some of the emergency kits weren't full.
He said that mention that one bottle. I just want to know when this type of stuff happens, they got a better plan because they weren't prepared at all for this. The safety guy agreed they weren't prepared.
So what are people doing? Like stealing the stuff out of the kit when they're riding it as souvenirs?
I don't know. I don't know. Fun fact. You know why all the towels at Walt Disney World are plain white?
I know why, but you can tell everybody else.
They're white because people were stealing the towels. They used to have Mickey embroidered, I guess, on the towels. Now all the towels at all the hotels are exactly the same, and there's zero incentive to steal the towels.
Unless you really like white towels.
Unless you really like white towels. I think because it's cheaper, too. I think it's the same reason they do the bed runners now. They cheaped out on that. They used to
I hate that. It's so cold. I'm always cold. That's one complaint about Disney hotels, too. I love them. I really do like the resort hotels. There's a lot of things to like about them. However, the dang bedding, you freeze your butt off. I know it's Florida, but it's still cold with the air conditioner on at night. Blankets. You can ask for extra blankets, but they're literally like a little tiny thin thing with a sheet thrown over it. That you can improve on. There you go.
So they're talking about the people who were, taken to the hospital. And again, look, the media is going to look to... this is where I'm torn, because the media is going to look to sensationalize this because it's juicy. The Skyliner, right. People taken to the hospital, they're peeing and they're pooping on a Disney ride.
You kind of been sensationalizing it.
I have, but I gotta tell you,
I try to keep it balanced.
No, the thing is that Disney though is going out of their way to not just acknowledge that this happened, but even their wording, like this is very typical Disney.
Oh, I'm sure it went through several people before it was released.
Yeah, they don't come out and say this was catastrophic. This was we don't know.
I don't know if it's catastrophic.
Well,
I mean,
no, if something catastrophic happens, they're always kind of downplaying. The catastrophic things have happened, unfortunately, there. But they really want people to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. Forget about it.
There are people who are like, did you die? It says the people who are on the ground. I am sure if you're in those cars for 3 hours in the heat with no water, no way to go to the bathroom, no one's telling you anything. All you hear is every 15 minutes this voice coming on telling you, and they said you're just waiting for that stupid voice, the annoying voice to come up. People have nightmares about the voice. And you're hanging in a car way above the air, some people above the water. And you're just, and there's alligators in the water. And, I am sure, I am 1,000% sure that there are people who it was traumatizing for.
Can you imagine if somebody's afraid of heights and somebody talked like grandma into getting on this thing? She's terrified.
Closed spaces.
Yeah,
it's only gonna be 5 minutes.
It's only gonna be a 5-minute ride, grandma. I'm
sure it happened. So I mean, it's
3.5 hours later.
It's easy for us or other people to say, well, it was this bad, or you did, did you die? No, stop complaining. And a lot of people did make the best of the bad situation, and that's good for them. There's different kinds of people. But I am sure, especially for children, it was a very scary ordeal.
Yeah.
3 hours dangling in the air. I panic when I think about it. And, I'm thinking in my head, and I grew up with airplanes, and my parents were both pilots and stuff. And in my head, I'm sitting there thinking, how would I react in one of these cars? And I get that panicky feeling where it rises up in your throat.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Well, what this is really about, though, the end of it, and I'm sure they are concerned about guest safety and all that. But really what this is about is they made such a big deal. They made such a big deal about the Skyliner for years. They've been working on this. They were going to upcharge the hotels on
They talked about it, and then they didn't do it.
But
they are going to upcharge, but they had said they were going to make it just the hotel guests could ride, that they didn't do that.
Right. So, the Pop Century was going to go up, Caribbean Beach. They
still will.
A bunch of renovations. The Riviera was one of the biggest features for the overpriced Riviera Hotel. It was on the Skyliner track. It was on the Skyliner line, and guess what? Not even a weekend, the thing crashes, And now, people are going to be like, yeah, I'm not riding that thing. No, I'm not paying $1,000 a night to stay at a hotel just so I can ride this thing.
I hope they cleaned these well.
Yeah, because people were...
Well, I was thinking about the monorail, and the reason the monorail, they have so much of the Contemporary and the Polynesian is because they're on the monorail line. And I'll tell you what, when you pull in on those things, the windows are dirty, like inside the hotels.
Oh, the monorails, they're gross.
It's filthy.
Gross.
There's bugs, there's dirt, it's
smells
filthy.
Like piss. They smell like piss.
Well, I'm not even just that, I'm talking about the stations inside the hotels. They're upcharging for this honor.
Oh, like the Contemporary?
And everything's filthy.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you not clean it? And that's what these. I'm like, I'm hoping. I mean, how long these things are ruined and aren't nice?
Oh yeah, they're gonna get. I mean, they're gonna clean.
You already know that there's peel over the floor.
They're gonna clean every one of these things every night. They're gonna scrub them down.
No, they better after this incident because I'm sure there was a lot of. I think they were joking about where we making poo corner because. God. So you have to be in a Skyliner cabin with people, and sometimes this is your family, and that's okay. But sometimes you might have been paired up with other people you don't know. I know some people were posting pictures. What if one of them has to go to the bathroom?
Yeah. You're
gonna have to pick a corner. Everybody's supposed to turn their eyes, and while you you have to. I mean, it's got to be embarrassing.
Stock drop too.
So this isn't sensationalizing it. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to be really leery about traveling on this thing now. It's not going to be an incentive to get people to pay top dollar for these hotels. It was supposed to be the transportation system of choice into Hollywood studios. So everybody was gonna stay at the really expensive hotel. Ride the...
No, that's what they planned.
That was the plan. This was the plan. This is what Disney's not real good at thinking that far ahead sometimes. The plan was we're going to build ridiculously expensive hotels. People are going to pay to stay at these hotels because they're going to be on the Skyliner line. And then they're going to go fill up Galaxy's Edge. So we got the Skyliner crashed. Nobody's booking the Riviera. It's on fire sale now. It's like 40% off.
Oh, for Visa and 25 for everybody else.
25 for everybody else, but still, it's a brand new freaking hotel. They can't fill it. And now Galaxy's Edge isn't doing so hot.
Oh, but I have some good news.
Okay.
If you want to be going to Walt Disney World and you want to stay at one of the hotels that aren't in the resort because they are so expensive, like the on-property hotels are ridiculous, and you want one that's actually a decent price, they have 7 hotels that are in the Disney Springs area that they actually give them the same perks that you get from the resort hotels in regards to you get 60-day window for fast passes and you get extra magic hours at the park. They just extended that deal to the end of next year. So now to the end of 2020, if you stay in one of those hotels, you will also get those perks of staying in the park, and they offer free shuttles.
Yeah, at this point, I would recommend if you're going to go to Disney World, I would tell you to stay at one of the off-property Disney Springs hotels because you're talking like $100, $125 a night with a lot of the perks of a resort hotel without the expense.
Right. So I'm just putting that out there. You can take lifts, you can take the buses, whatever.
Yep.
Just, put that out there if you wanted to go. Look into that because it might save you some money. Also, they have the afternoon tickets where if you go in like noon on, you get a discounted ticket if you buy multiple days. Consider doing that hotel and then going after the afternoon.
Yeah, if you're looking to go to Disney, I mean, that's the one thing. The one good thing about all this is Disney is like having a fire sale now. Like you can find all kinds of crazy good deals, free dining and discounted rooms and because they need people. They need people. Disney needs as many people. Like joked before, Disney needs wine moms. They need. I think they're gonna realize after this year they need everybody again. Mm-hmm. And jacking those ticket prices up.
People that take pictures of themselves, whether they're competent or not, doesn't matter.
The Instagram mom thing, I think, is going to be over because
I hope so because it's really annoying. I mean, if I have to see hair flipping one more time, I'm gonna scream.
This is not good. So
no, it's really good if you're visiting.
I don't look at the
Starbucks. I cannot believe that. I would love to show the kids this picture. They'd be like, "Oh my god!"
They wouldn't believe it. We've been there at 3:00 in the afternoon. The line was out to the street.
We've been out there since it opened.
February,
and there, it's like, yeah. I mean, it's always busy. I have never seen it that empty.
Interesting.
I would love to show the kids that picture later because they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh!"
I've never seen empty Starbucks at Disney Park, even during a slow.
That's one of their favorite places to go. We always get a Starbucks at the parks every time we go because that's their favorite thing they want to do.
Java chip.
They always want it. We only because we don't really have one. We have one that's like about half an hour from here.
Yeah, I'm not driving.
We just don't. I mean, honestly, it's expensive, but we get them that when we're there and they love it. So. All
right. So yeah, it's a good time to go if you want to go. It looks like you're gonna have the place yourself, so just don't take the Skyliner.
No, I would still do it. I mean, after it opens, it's probably gonna be real safe. So
yeah, I think they're. I'm hoping they didn't cheap out and just open it just to get it open. because that's
10 months of testing. I thought it was odd they were testing it as long as they were.
6 months. They tested it for like 6
I know.
months.
I thought it was odd. It was being tested for as long as it was.
Don't know, but yeah, this is not Disney's year. I guess
It really isn't. It's like
really
it just keeps happening.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants on Clownfish TV. Got some more videos coming tomorrow, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.